So yeah, Sumati. So what motivates you to move to CPI role from BI?
Actually, our company recently upgraded our HR system into the cloud.
Mhm,
So they just gave some introduction, but implementation was done by external consultants.
mhm, mhm.
In future, in case if there is a issue, I need to go and fix the issue there. So I want to learn by myself separately. Company is not providing any training, so I want to upgrade myself also.
Correct. So do you have any idea about cloud technology? Any cloud
No,
technology? Anything? Okay.
no.
So normally, as you know, in the cloud computing services, when it has been introduced, from that you have three things. Like one is a infrastructure as a service, and platform and software as a service, right? So
Okay.
generally, what it happens, right? In this, if it will go for the infrastructure as a service, in that case, data center and physical those networking server storage, right? That will
Yeah.
be given as a no service will be provided by them only, right?
Mm.
And the operation like operation system, your data, your developments, right? All these things, maintenance, all these applications, right? You have to do
Mm.
by your own, like your maybe you have to take care of that, right?
Mm.
But in
Mm.
case of platform as a services, what happened? Like they will provide the infrastructure. In addition to that, they will provide the operating systems, database, everything they will provide it. You just have to simply do the development in the platform as a service system. Okay.
Okay.
So
Mm.
and software as a service, what, let's say Skype we're using, or maybe
Mm.
ready-made applications whatever we are using, like
Mm.
that we are calling software as a service. There we don't have to any kind of things. All the ready-made solutions are available. All the like
Mm.
ready-made solution means what? Not in the on-premise, in the cloud-based application, whatever
Mm.
available the solution, and you are directly accessing that. uh, that's called your maybe that's your called software as a service. Maybe you know the service now, it's already
Mm.
also some configuration are doing it, and maybe and ready-made solution also they are. Skype one
Yeah.
example. So these are the example of software as a service. But if you go to the, let's say, example of our, let's in our case, like what like our case, like what is our CPI? It is a platform as a service. Okay. First of like
Mm.
normally, if you look into the advantage of platform as a service, okay. So what happened? It is having simple and normally convenient for the users, cost effective, because many things will be maintained by your service provider. You have to go for the subscription based, how much you are
Okay.
going to use it. For that you can pay. And
Mm.
let's say
Mm.
uh, for you one user, if you want to use a multiple user, if you want to use for 15 days, 1 month or something, based on the usage, you are going for adopting the cloud solution. So that's why
Mm.
like it is a cost of effective than your on-premise system. Okay. Efficient life cycle management, like what it is designed to support the developments, testing, development. Like we'll talk about, like let's say how, like, because as I said, they will give you as a operating system and everything. Now what you're doing, you are just doing the development. In the quality development system, you're doing the development. You will raise a request to move it to the quality system, and you can do the like migrate your changes. And you can there also, you can in one system also you can do the testing also. Standalone system you can do the testing, even from the, let's say, maybe your, like, yeah, you have a third party tools like Postman or Swagger UI. From there you
Mm.
can do the testing of your application as well.
Mm.
So efficiency wise, it allows the higher level programming with the reducing the complexity. Okay. And overall development of application can be more effective. Okay. So
Okay.
this is our advantages of the PAs. Okay. So what happened, like our solution, whatever the solution we have implemented in Cloud Foundry, like, sorry, CPI. Okay. So we'll go, like, at the end I will go to the CPI part, like it's just about the brief about your CPI. What is the CPI architect? Will not
Mm.
do any hands-on, or will not, because for that we have to set up the configuration, and we have to open the free trial account in the BTP, and we have to set up the
Yes.
account. That we will have
Mm.
in the different session. Okay. Now we'll have
Okay.
a look just to understand what is in which environment our these things are running. like CPIs or integration suites are running. Okay, so what happened initially? If I'll go to uh, okay, history. Okay, so what happened? History of BTP. Okay, so how it started before. Initially, in this case, if you look at SAP started with the Neo solution. Okay, SAP in what happened in that Neo solution? What happened? Your this service, this server, and all these things. Your service provider is a SAP. The cloud service only provided by SAP only, the Neo. Okay,
mm,
so
mm,
SAP entered all the PaaS market with the SAP Network Cloud. The code name Neo sought never for the demand. Okay, that's
mm,
called SAP Network Cloud. That is again called it's in 2013 it's called as a SAP HANA Cloud Platform. Okay,
mm,
now
mm,
in 2000 because Cloud Foundry you know that is an independent solution. In Cloud
mm,
Foundry there are multiple service provider you can use it like your cloud service provider, your AWS is there, your Microsoft Azure is there, your Google Cloud Platform is there, and
mm,
so like you can choose your any of the service provider as per your requirement or functionality. So that's why SAP has partnered with the Cloud Foundry and using this functionality and taking all this inbuilt functionality to the SAP Cloud Foundry. Okay, so
mm,
SAP Cloud Foundry environment got added along with the Neo. That's in 2017 is called Cloud Platform. Okay, what
mm,
happened in that? So in the ABAP environment, they have like introduced the ABAP also in 2018. In like they in the 2022 again they modified to the Kima environment. Okay, we are in the SAP Cloud
mm,
Platform. So at the 2021 they have introduced the BTP. In the BTP SAP Business Technology Platform, it's nothing like a container kind of like how you know that ki our ECC system in ECC
mm,
all the systems are integrated SD, MM, FI, ABAP, all these things are there. So
mm,
in the BTP technology, you're having all the functionality also there. All the like four pillars here it is having. One is the integration suite. One is your artificial intelligence suite, like data analytic, design and analytics, and your automations. Right? These are the things has been introduced in the BTP. It has having four pillars. If you look into automations, right? They have a RPAs, workflow management. Okay, under the integration suite, they have a your SAP CPI, SAP API management. These all are the coming SAP migration management. Okay, this comes under the integration. SAP
okay.
CPI we're talking about like or we're planning for that. So what about your migration management? That time, let's say you're pre no you're having predefined solution or application is there in the PI process integration SAP PI. You want
Mm,
to move your changes to the CPI solution. That time you can
mm,
use SAP Migration Management. Okay, SAP
mm,
Integration CPI Cloud Platform Integration. It can be done on-premise to cloud, cloud to cloud, SAP to SAP, SAP to non-SAP. It can be integrated. Okay, there is no
okay.
restriction on that. Okay,
Mm,
so if you data analytics, you have analytics cloud, data sphere, SAP MDG, and all these things are there. And in the for the KI, like for the AI, artificial intelligence, SAP AI, and all these applications are there. SAP low
mm,
code, no code, they've also introduced recently in SAP under the AI column. Okay,
mm,
so if you to look into the now, as you talked about SAP Neo and SAP. Okay, so in the SAP Neo, in the SAP Neo environment, as I said, it's a very old applications. So majorly, most of the clients or most of the projects are recently moving into the Cloud Foundry solutions. Okay, and SAP
mm,
BTP is also integration, so they're going moving into that. Even in our project, also we implemented new platform like in Neo environment. We are recently migrating to the Cloud Foundry also. We have recently migrated all the changes to the Cloud Foundry. There is easy like normally easily you can do that. It's not complicated. All the changes, nothing will be changes. Your iFlow and nothing will be changes. Okay. So
mm,
in SAP Cloud Foundry new environment contains a SAP property. Means what? So as I said, SAP providing your cloud solutions or servers. That's why it is having the SAP backend.
mm,
It is normally what happened here. You are able to implement Java solution, XS Advanced, right? HTML application, UI5 Fury also you can implement it. And in
mm,
the but in the BTP, if you look into BT in the BTP, as you have the multiple applications, as I said, integration suite, those applications, CPI and all. BaaS,
mm,
under the BaaS, you can do the UI5 development, like your Fury developments and all, or CAPM development, CAPM like CAPM cloud application programming model, that development also under the you can do under the BaaS. Okay. So
mm,
near environment also lets you virtual machines allowing you to install maintain applications. So that is a new environment. So now we are not going to focus on the new environment. Okay. So
mm,
we are talking about the cloud and cloud foundry environment. SAP Cloud Platform is an environment which contains a Cloud Foundry application and runtime. It is open source applications. So it is normally what happens. We are using this Cloud Foundry to enhance the SAP products, okay, and integrates
mm,
like normally. Let's say if you're doing from, let's say you have a one third party to, let's say you're connecting to the SAP system. Third
okay.
party to, if you're connected to the SAP, let's say your leading system is your third party, let's say, because you know that maximum companies are now moving to the different third party. Let's say Salesforce, Ariba, maybe SuccessFactor, Aptos, Stibo, Informatica, they're moving it because they
Mm,
have also they also bring some of the cloud solutions and maybe your CRM application, good CRM like if you'll go to the Salesforce, you'll find the good cloud-based CRM application. If you'll go to
mm,
Informatica and Stibo, you'll get good cloud like cloud-based master data management tools also. So sometimes because of the cost effectiveness and that SAP is very costly, that's why many of the clients also moving to the some of the third parties for the one modules also. So let's say you are leading your SAP leading system is your third party and SAP is your backup system. Okay, there are
mm,
two-way communication can be possible for the data consistency you can do. So if you're moving to third party to SAP, normally in that time we are calling it as synchronization services. And when you're moving from SAP to SAP back to SAP changes back to the third party, that's called replication services. So
mm,
normally it can be interactive through the cloud foundry solutions by using the different adapters. Generally, if you look into the your SAP side, SAP if you want to hit SAP thing, so whatever the
mm,
we have application, we are connected or connected like to the third parties and all, we have RFC connections and we have
mm,
IDOC also. So like in through RFC and IDOC, we can connect with the SAP Cloud Found CPI system, because you know that IDOC can be understandable by the SAP system itself. So SAP
mm,
CPI is also SAP system, right? So it can be understandable. So but when you're connecting to the third party, it can be through the possible through the HTTPS, SFTP, or REST API, okay, and
mm.
JMS, different things are there. Even if I just missed one point, OData also, through the OData also you can connect from SAP to CPI also, okay. So it can
Okay.
be possible. So that's the difference between the Cloud Foundry and Neo. What's the difference? Okay, if you to let me. So Cloud Foundry is open source solutions. Neo is a SAP proprietary. SAP proprietary means what? So your functionality, everything will be held by SAP. It's a kind of private base. Private. You have to. You
Mm,
you don't have any. You are not independent to do something. You cannot choose whatever SAP is providing. You have to adopt that. So
okay.
open source means you are flexible to anything. So that's why you can see Cloud Foundry what supports multiple data center, AWS,
Mm,
Azure,
mm,
GCP. But this is what you support only the SAP data centers. Okay.
mm,
So now if you'll go to the Neo, programming language is what supported by SAP, Java, HTML, SAP and HANA Access. All these are the SAP things, SAP Java
mm,
and all. But if you look into the programming languages of Cloud Foundry or BTP is running through the Cloud Foundry only. So what happened in that case? User SAP Java Node.js. So you know that if you are using the Node.js like you can be used in the many things, and it is having very wide range of functionality.
mm,
So
mm,
nowadays when you are going for the when your client is moving to the SAP, SAP public clouds or private clouds, So they are having some functionality, or sometimes because when you're working with the large enterprise, all the solution or changes not will be not will be developed or possible in the your cloud solution. Sometimes you have to extend it. Yeah. So how you can do the extension? That you have to go for the side by side extensions. How you can do the side by side extensions? That can be possible through the BTP CAPM, where the Node.js your skills is required. Okay, and people are using the Java developers, Node.js developers, some Python developers. They are moving to the BTP CAPM. Okay. So there you can do the side by side functionality, where even if in the Node CAPM also solution, hmm, you can connect like you can know connect to your SAP systems like CDS view or and all this. You can call through the OData and all. You can consume the OData in your CAPM solution, and you can expose that to the SAP Fiori, because you know that when you're moving to the cloud solutions or on on-premises and all, client moving to the rather than the SAP GUI, they're moving to the Fiori solutions. So these are the things. Okay, so as you can see here, what it is writing, you can weaving your own language, right? Build your own
Yes.
language is not supported in the Neo, so that's why Cloud Foundry is more friendly. Okay, and PTP is also evolving, and I'm sure by looking at the things in my surrounding, it will have definitely the great future. Okay, BTP. So let's talk about the BTP. Okay, so SAP BTP is a normally platform-based solution, or PaaS, like as I said, platform as a service, computing service by provided by SAP, which is running
Okay.
on the Cloud Foundry. Okay,
Mm, mm,
so already we discussed about the history of the BTP. So that's the like theoretical point. Like normally SAP entered the PS market as in SAP Neo. Neo means what? Native cloud. Okay, the code
mm,
name Neo started with the demand. Okay, SAP Cloud name to HANA Cloud Platform. They're just changing the name. Okay, and 2007 the Cloud and Foundry environment got under the Neo. Means they have partnered with the Cloud Foundry, and they also started implementing or extend the functionality to the existing customer that you can move to the Cloud Foundry. Okay, so 2018 ABAP environment added, right? Because you know that ABAP is also many, ABAP cloud is also there, RAP and all. So ABAP cloud environment is added to the SAP cloud platform. Okay. Then Kima, then 2021 they've just changed the name to the BTP and added all the functionalities required. Okay. So that is a history of the BTP. Okay. Normally, if you are going for what is the different of, like what is how the BTP is different. Okay, because of these three functionalities: unified solutions, business centric, and open. Open means what? It is flexibility to do the deployment and run the business process. Okay, so what it is written, because of SAP it is open, organization can choose how to build the solutions. Okay, business centric is what? SAP is designed for the business transformation. All the business like all the business transformation can be possible. Like as I said, in one platform, okay, you have to create the sub accounts and all. Under the sub accounts, you can run your different applications. You can have a for one under the development sub account also is there. Your quality productions is it there. So those are the things possible in the basic your SAP BTP solutions. Okay, as I said, we are having you have a integration and different topics. But as we joined here, it's about the integration suite. So SAP integration suite, which comes under like integration suite means what? Connecting multiple two applications, okay, or multiple applications. So which we can connect to the one system to another system. That's called SAP integration suite. As I said, your various things are there under the integration suite. So normally, as I said before, this service runs in the SAP BTP under the Cloud Foundry environment. Okay, SAP BTP is the name, but it's running your background is your Cloud Foundry environment. Cloud Foundry means what I said. Cloud Foundry means you can choose your whichever the data centers, and under the data center also you have to choose the region whichever near to you, or your main business is running, let's say your business mostly running in the Europe, which region you
mm,
will choose? Europe, not the America. Huh?
mm, mm.
So you can choose, let's say your backend cloud foundry, na? You can choose SAP. You can open the SAP BTP. You can choose the SAP AWS. I have seen, and Europe region. Under that, your accounts, sub accounts, all these things will be created. Okay. So this is how the BTP things. Okay. So integration suite, as I said, we are having the integration suite capabilities, but under the SAP integration, under the integration suite, as I said, cloud integration, which is CPI, right? API
Mm.
management, open connectors, migration assessment. Okay, normally you can assess you move your existing integration scenarios to the SAP integration suite. This is like PI to CPI, as I said. Okay, Cloud Foundry, you can integrate SAP to SAP and non-SAP, cloud and on-premise, all the solution. As I said, na, non-SAP to I have also done non-SAP to SAP. I have configured. Okay,
Okay.
I have configured like how what on-premise non-SAP to SAP non-premise on-premise. I have just did the flows. Okay, even we
Mm.
have done on-premise to the Fury also applications and all this in the cloud based. So your Fury bus, which is in the cloud application, if you're sending something or a HANA cloud or ABAP cloud you're consuming, so that also we have done like on-premise system to cloud solution I've done. Okay, I have never experienced something. I have never done cloud to cloud solutions, on-premise to cloud. I've done, but it's all the same thing.
Mm.
So this is all the about the integration suite, API management and graph. Normally the API management, your REST API is there. GraphQL, we are using the GraphQL logics and all under the API management. We are doing it. Okay.
Okay.
So the next, what is CPI and which environment? Okay. So as I said, CPI is what? It is a PaaS-based services where you are designing the iFlows. Okay, graphical presentations. If you look into the PI, we don't have the graph.
Mm.
Do you have graphical presentations in PI?
No.
So here you have a graphical presentations where you get your all the views. Right? When you do the tracing, you will see, or you have a like you will do the iFlows. Right? So what happened? You can see in each iFlows how the things are running. Okay, like you are giving some input and output to trace. You can see all these steps, in all steps what are happening. If you do the
Okay.
debug, you can see like where your error is there, in which path it is going. Let's say like if you're having, let's say at the end of the development, always you have to follow what we have to outsource the output solutions, and we have to sometimes and always in all pro real time we have to go to the exceptions of process. In that case,
Mm.
normally where our one solution is the router, so the router we can define if it is valid, go and show the end message, show the solutions or show the output, so that somebody or your another party can consume that output. If it is a problem, then we can raise a exceptions of process through the Groovy script. Okay, and
Mm.
the monitor will like we can now generate a mail to us or the monitoring mail. These things has been failed. Okay, because of that, so we can have that. Hmm. So that is in the your cloud foundry. So normally CPI is middleware, not because as it is a connecting between the systems, so it is a middleware solution. As I said,
Mm.
SAP CPI is a middleware. It facilitates the connection between the SAP RPT system, third party product services. So it is a middleware solution. So next, is CPI system or ETL? Yes, it is ETL. It is extracting the information and transforming that, like transforming to the like whatever the requirement. Let's say you are extracting means what? You're considering, let's say, from one third party or SAP solutions. Hmm. So you have to you are understanding the SAP functionalities. IDOC, you are on, let's say you're getting something. Let's say your sender is your SAP, so you are getting the solution from SAP in what? IDOC you're getting it. IDOC is
mm,
having the character formats. All the data is having in the different segments. You are having the different fields. In the character
mm,
format, it is there. So you have to
mm,
understand that you are extracting the information. Transforming means what? Let's say your third party is not able to understand the IDOC and character and all. Maybe some they are having some logic is there or some constraint is there. So you have to adopt that. You have to understand that. You have to
mm.
transform that functionality to those requirement. Okay, and load that. How you can load that? You have a different functions like get, push, put, all this information. Crowd functionality is there, so that you can load it also to the system.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm,
okay, through the crowd functionality. So as I said, it is a SAP CIS or PaaS or IaaS solution. It is our platform as a service solutions. SAP CPI. Okay.
mm,
Now, why we are using the CPI solutions? Okay. So
mm.
CPI is what? As I said, the middleware. As I said, we also already discussed before. As it's a like it is having SAP has developed that because already many modules, third party middlewares are there. MuleSoft, or maybe you have a TIPCO, many things are there. SAP have a PI. They also move to the cloud foundry, cloud solution because of the all this. They're evolving it and
Mm,
adapting it the as per the requirement to the market demand and all. So at they move to the and adopted the new functionality and enhanced the new functionality. As I said, graphical presentations and all monitoring functionalities, many things are has been introduced. So they moved it to the cloud foundries. Okay, so and that's why SAP CPI were using it. Okay, so now if you look into the comparison between the CPI system and PIPO system, if I
okay.
maximize zoom out, I can see if I SAP CPI development, you have a in the SAP Java mapping PIP and the Java logic are using it, Java mapping PIPU, right? Here we are having the content modifier. In the content modifier, we are having the configure runtime configurations. You can do the exception process. You can pass all the logic. You can
Mm,
pass the constant if you want to define or sugar value, or you can externalize the parameter also under the content modifier. You're using that content modifier. You're having the generate. Having the splitter. You're having the multicast request reply. Request reply. If you look into the request reply, what happened? Service interface sync to the PIP. Okay. Let's
mm,
say why am I using the request reply? Let's say if you're having third party applications, you are sending something to which system? SAP system, and you are
mm.
expecting some values because you synchronize something. Let's say you are expecting some output to be output to come from SAP or some message to become. Like let's say if something is getting failed, you want the
Yeah.
exception message also BTP like what we are running BAPI return to, right, parameter where through which we are getting the exceptions,
Mm,
BAPI exceptions we are getting it.
mm, mm,
So we are using BAPI exceptions, the RFC function modules and all these things. So
mm,
if I'm sending and expecting in the response from SAP, so that time request reply I'm sending it. Let's say now you are having the request reply. You can connect your RFCs or you can connect with your IDOC to the receiver system,
mm,
and after there you will get an output. Okay, like you have to write the Groovy script. Under that Groovy script, you have to get the information body. You have to get your body, under the body you can have your output, and you can have your message also. You can get it like how this is we're doing the if you will see it has written also Groovy script for logging native completion. No need of PI for boot logging method monitoring tools. In Groovy script, you can do anything. Okay, you can get your outputs, you can do the monitoring message, everything you can do it. Okay, uh, you're implementing all this information can do like even if as I said in the if external parameter we can pass something solutions like if because in the production system you don't have access to modify something. Let's say you have a different system, you can modify, you cannot change the value in the production
mm,
system or quality system. So
mm, mm,
in that time if you externalize all these values, so simply what you have to do, you have to go to the configure, you have to change your put your system name, right? You have to put your system name and the things will run.
Okay.
Okay, nothing, no worry, only no worry for that. So that's why you're using the externalized parameter also. So if you look into the normally architecture or cloud of on-premises and all, okay. So what happened? As I said, if it is on-premise solutions, SAP Business Suite, SAP S/4HANA means where your database is a HANA system. SAP S/4HANA.
Mm.
What is Business Suite? A non-SAP software means something non-SAP application. SAP
Mm.
Business Suite, you will not have your HANA also. You're not in the background, your HANA. You should just move to the 7.4, 7.5. Okay. But it may be different database also in the Business Suite. Okay.
Mm.
So on the on-premise solutions, we have and cloud solutions. Cloud solution, what you can have normally SAP Ariba, Concur, Field Glass, okay, or Success Factor. These are the cloud solution. SAP S/4 HANA cloud solution. So
Mm.
you can connect your on-premise to cloud through your CPI, okay, and all this both the way you can do that both the way only. Like as I said, synchronization and replication, you can do the both the way. In the both the way you can exchange your data. Okay, so
Mm.
it is a cloud application on SAP cloud. Okay, as I said, what happened if it is a SAP Ariba and all, right? And you have some, let's say, Salesforce, you are having connecting something, or SAP C4C. SAP C4C is what? SAP Cloud Solutions for the
Mm.
customer management, CRM applications. Salesforce
Mm.
is what? That is also CRM applications. So you can
Mm.
connect both the system also cloud to cloud. That can be possible through the CPI also. If your business also, if your business want to use that. Okay. So all this is normally the cloud premise and on-premise solutions. Okay, like things to cloud, all these real world objects, user-centric approach. Like once the computer, you are accessing something from the computer, mobile, tablet, user-centric approaches, right? How it can be feasible? Like so, the Fury. Normally, if you go to the Fury, it can be accessible from anywhere. App solutions, Fury apps, right? You can access from your mobile, and from tablet, your laptop, anywhere you can use that. Okay. So, real world objects means what? Like maybe, like let's say it is a cart. Cart means what? Maybe some different solutions, right? Your CPQ process, let's say Amazon is a cart service, CPQ process, CLM process, all this process where they're doing the adding something to the cart and all. These are the data exchange between this all this system. Okay. So already we talk about the CPI architecture, like how we can connect it to the different system. Normally we have a CRUD request, uh, get, post, put, patch, delete. Patch also is also there nowadays, right? All this information we have middleware we are doing it, and we can have to call this information. It can be your any third party, Concur, your Ariba, or maybe Informatica, Stivo, right? Uh, Anything, Aptos, any solutions. Okay, it can be possible. All this because nowadays they're using the REST APIs also, right? Through the REST API, all this information you can do that and can connect to the SAP system. Okay,
Okay.
so before, yeah, after this we have normally talked about BTP. What is a cloud foundry? What is the evolution of BTP? What is Neo? What is SAP CPI? Then, if you'll go deeper, now you will have a like is architecture layer of SAP CPI. Normally, you have an integration layers, connectivity layers. You have adapters, as I said, different adapters. We have. You have a message mapping. You have a iFlow design. You have a value mapping. Okay, and you can create it. Okay, all these are under the integration layers. Okay, so
Okay.
we will go next. So before going to that, so you do have any questions? Well,
No, so far okay.
so if we'll go to the integration layers, right? What happened? I
Mm.
said we have to do the integration IFOs, message mapping, content modifier, value mapping. I have not added value mapping, sender
Mm.
receiver adapters. All these under the integration layer. Under the integration mapping, what there is a component of integration will define the logic for data transformation, routing between the both the systems. Integration flows means what? It will show the flows. However, integration means what? connecting two things. Integration, integrating two things. Flows means what? How you're flowing it, like what are the steps, what are the steps in which, how your like flows means what is your steps, you're going right from one to another, like from starting to end, what are your flows, that will
mm,
cover under the integration flows. Okay. Message mapping, under the message mapping you have a different format, like data in this you have you can connect your data transform between like through the XML format and JSON format, in the both the ways you can do the message mapping. Okay. Sender
mm,
receiver adapter, like you are, as I said, you have a sender system and receiver system. Adapters different, OData, RFC, HTTPS, JMS,
mm,
um, SFTP, file protocol, like where we're moving the files, sending the files. Okay, this can be the adapters between that. Content modifier, it is used to modify the content of the message. Content of the message processed by the iFlow. Okay, do
okay.
what? Add, adding, deleting something, modifying or changing something of the payload messages. Okay, it can be
Okay.
done through the content modifier. Okay, router, I said, router means what? You can go to the exception sub process, or you can go to the valid one, multiple way route. Route means what? If you talk about route, you have a, let's say, two-way route, three-way route. These are the options, right? In which route do you want to go? You have to choose out of
Mm,
the three routes. So this is how, like your system or like data will be behave, like based on your logic. Okay, router.
mm, mm,
The component is to route the message to the different integration flows based on the criteria, like content of the message. Splitter and aggregator used to split the larger message to the small ones, and it can processes and process to and take it forward, splitting it, aggregate it.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
so like this is what under the integration layer. If you are going to the connectivity layer, so you have like adapters, connectors, security protocol conversion, monitoring. You're doing the monitoring messages, like any issues and all, right? Like you can monitor it, right? If you look into the SAP, when you open SAP CPI, in the left hand side of the toolbars you can see you are having discovery phase, right? And you are having design phase, where you are having
mm,
monitoring
mm,
operations.
mm,
Under the discovery, what already SAP given some of the predefined iflows, maybe for
mm,
your supplier, customer, co-worker, finance, any solutions, right? They have given many things, right? So you if if it can be possible, if your business requirement is limited to that, so you can use that predefined iflows. But you cannot change the already predefined iflows because already SAP provide that. So if you want to do something, you have to do the custom iflows. You have to do that. You cannot enhance something. So that's why you have to go for design. Under the design, you have to do your own. You can create your own package. Under your own package, you can create a different iflows and all. Okay, and taking care of the connection between the systems. Okay. So that is for the connecting connective layer and all. Okay, this is about process layer. You are having different messages, monitoring, notification, data mapping, process designer. We have, so we'll cover this one by one. We'll go to the topic, right? Like no, then you'll have a brief idea about how it works. Because if
okay.
you'll say something, hey, message monitoring, this is doing. Hey, adapter is doing these things. You'll some
Mm,
if someone is not having the idea about the CPI, they will not
mm,
able to understand how it works, right? How it is working. Okay. So
mm,
it is having the different. We'll cover the system landscape of the CPIs, component architecture of the iFlows. So these are the just theory only, right? So adapters, okay, okay, and different types of adapter, as I said, STTP, SFTP, JDBC, Mail, SuccessFactors, Salesforce, Workday, OData, right? RFC, IDOC, JMS, all these things we have. Okay, like the different
okay.
adapters we have. Message infrastructures, normally communicating with the passing the messages, like what SAP is doing, enable and secure messages, but to the different system data sources. That is for the messaging infrastructure. Security also we have in SAP, right? So that we can have a will cover. And even if under the security you have a message encryptions, audit logging, access control, all these apps, right? So when you have a go for in-depth, like you will set up the free trial account under the BTP and use that and started using or create the fast iFlow, then we'll
Mm.
cover like how this functionality is working. Okay, so
Okay.
I think yeah, that's all about today session. Okay.